The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. A major cocaine bust. Police seizing $7.8 million worth of cocaine on Cat Island. Grand Bahama officers also discovering $4.5 million worth of cocaine at the shipping port. The Prime Minister says it's too early to talk about by-elections, but two PLPs vying for the nod in Golden Isles. And BPL says relief on the way for Eleuthera customers. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. 6th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, DeAndrew Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we are scheduled to speak with the JCNP in the middle of all this controversy with the upcoming Boxing Day and New Year's Day parades. We'll get their take on what's going on. And later, we're approaching World Mental Health Day. We'll talk about that and mental health issues here in the Bahamas. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping at the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, police seizing $12.3 million worth of cocaine during separate operations over the weekend. On Saturday evening, two men were arrested on Cat Island after they were found with $7.8 million worth of cocaine. Police saying it was a joint operation involving drug enforcement officers, DEA, and local officers on Cat Island. According to the head of the Drug Enforcement Unit, Superintendent Wendy Pearson, the officers were on board a U.S. helicopter on the southern tip of Cat Island when they observed two men in low-lying bushes, along with a number of crocus sacks. She says that as a result of that, officers landed and went over to the low-lying area where they detained the two men. They checked those crocus sacks and discovered that each of those bags contained a number of kilo packages of suspected cocaine. She said the men ages 42 and 37 were arrested and taken to New Providence. The drugs weighed 359 kilograms. Then on Sunday, police, customs officers, and U.S. officials searched a container at a shipping port in Grand Bahama and found $4.5 million worth of cocaine. No arrests were made in that matter. The drugs weighed in at 181 kilograms. Cocaine seizures in the region have increased since 2021. In the Bahamas between 2017 and 2020, police seized 2,461.37 pounds of cocaine. Between 2021 and 2024, though, that number's jumped to 13,479.36 pounds. It's now a murder investigation. Police say that a shooting incident that left a man in serious condition in the hospital on Thursday. That victim, a 24-year-old man, has died. He died in hospital on Saturday. This happened in the Montel Heights area on Thursday. A 23-year-old man sentenced to 7 years in prison after he admitted to raping his little sister. The man owned up to the perverted actions before his incest trial began in May. Following his guilty plea, he was remanded into custody pending sentencing after his lawyer requested a probation report to assist the court. On September 13, 2023, the then 21-year-old was left home alone with his 14-year-old sister. The man asked his sister, who was showering, to unlock the bathroom door because he needed to use the toilet. She let him in and went back to the shower. When she got out of the shower, the brother pushed her onto the bathroom floor and raped her. The victim reported the matter to her guidance counselor, who alerted authorities. A probation officer said family and friends were surprised at the man's actions. He apologized for the pain he caused his sister and his family. The sister did not speak to the probation officer, but the mother claimed that she had forgiven her brother. The mother asked the court for leniency. The prosecutor, Tabitha Frazier, asked for a sentence in the range of 10 to 15 years, while public defender James Thompson sought a 5-year sentence. Justice Renee McKay imposed a 7-year prison sentence followed by 2 years of probation. A breach of probation will result in a 2-year sentence. And a 64-year-old deacon who attempted to rape his granddaughter should serve 20 to 30 years in prison, according to a prosecutor. Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Terry Archer urged Justice Renee McKay to send a strong message of denunciation of sex crimes against children. By contrast, the convict's lawyer, Lasiah Roll, asked for a sentence of 4.5 years. In support of his argument, he cited a case where a man was jailed for 9 years for incest with his niece. Since the offense was not completed in this case, Roll argued that the sentence should be halved. Archer said that child sex crimes were too prevalent in the country and that the convict had shown half-hearted remorse. The man was found guilty of attempted incest in relation to his then 11-year-old granddaughter. The convict was 58 years old when the crimes took place. The man attempted to rape the child in August and September 2019 while she was living with her maternal grandparents. With her mother. The convict still has the support of his church and wife, who asked the court for leniency. The pastor said the convict was active in the men's ministry and described him as a good person. His wife said he was a good provider and said he must have been tipsy when he committed the crimes. As Eleuthera continues to face legacy challenges relating to electricity supply, BPL says that one of 2 new generators will soon be brought online in Rock Sound. BPL saying in a statement that over the weekend, the station at Rock Sound was successfully tested and is expected to be brought online shortly. It says that once operational, the additional generation supply will significantly improve the stability and reliability of the electricity supply across the island. The announcement coming after residents expressed frustration over frequent outages and surges at a town hall meeting on Friday. You can read all about their concerns in today's Nassau Guardian. And businessman Joe Johnson and PLP Senator Darren Pitstock are said to be vying for the PLP nomination for Golden Isles. Both men applied to the party for the nomination before Miller's sudden death on September 28th. Prior to his death, Miller indicated to the Prime Minister that he had no desire to seek re-election. Pitstock, a lawyer, is a partner at Glinton, Sweeting, and O'Brien. He was appointed to the Senate in 2021. Johnson, a businessman who has worked as a security manager at Bahama and director of security at Rosewood, is also the owner of Avery's Restaurant. On Thursday, Prime Minister Philip Davis said, quote, "We are mourning at this time. The law requires me to call it within 60 days. I'm giving consideration to that." Meanwhile, FNM leader Michael Pintard last week said the Prime Minister should skip the by-election and go straight to a general election. Overseas, facing criticism from all sides, France's new Prime Minister, Sébastien Lecornu, resigning less than 24 hours after naming his government and after less than a month in office, plunging France into a deep political crisis, another one. The French presidency said in a statement today that President Emmanuel Macron has accepted his resignation. Lecornu had replaced his predecessor, François Bayrou, to become France's fourth prime minister in barely a year. A faithful ally of Macron, Lecornu said conditions were no longer met to remain in office after failing to build a consensus. Macron's opponents immediately tried to capitalize on the shocking resignation, with the far-right National Rally calling on him to either call for new snap elections or resign. And protesters both for and against Ecuador's President Daniel Noboa rallying in the capital Quito Sunday after a state of emergency took effect in 10 provinces. Anti-government demonstrations began 2 weeks ago, organized by the country's largest indigenous group, in response to the removal of a fuel subsidy that raised diesel prices from $1.80 to $2.80 per gallon. Police reported no injuries or arrests Sunday, but officers dispersed protesters using tear gas after some of them tried to break through the security cordon protecting the park. Late Saturday, the government declared a state of emergency starting Sunday at midnight in 10 provinces, citing, quote, serious internal unrest. The provinces are areas with large indigenous populations where protests have been concentrated. The order restricts freedom of assembly but does not prohibit peaceful demonstrations. And at least 5 people killed in a large-scale Russian attack on Ukraine. Russia launched drones, missiles, and guided aerial bombs across Ukraine early Sunday, killing 5 people in a major nighttime attack that Ukrainian officials said targeted civilian infrastructure. Moscow fired 53 ballistic and cruise missiles and 496 drones. Ukraine's Air Force said President Volodymyr Zelensky reported that 9 regions were targeted. 4 people, including a 15-year-old, died in a combined drone and missile strike on Lviv, according to regional officials and Ukraine's emergency service. It was the largest aerial assault on the historic western city and surrounding region since Russia's full-scale invasion on February 24, 2022. In a telegram post, the head of the local military administration said that Russia launched about 140 drones and 23 ballistic missiles across the region. At least 6 people were killed. The strike left 2 districts of Lviv without power and disrupted public transportation for a few hours early Sunday. In sports, it was a rematch of last year's New Providence Volleyball Association Men's Championships at the D.W. Davis Gym Sunday, and the result remained the same. The Avengers, the reigning champions, took down the Technicians 3-1 in the league's season opener. They won 25-22, 23-25, 25-18, and 25-23. It was anybody's game in set 1, but the defending champions came out on top 25-22, the Technicians regaining their footing in the second set and emerged victorious 25-23. The MPVA men's title holders then defeated the Technicians in the following 2 sets. Read all about that in today's Guardian Sports section. And it's been a back-and-forth championship series between the Police Crime Stoppers and the Nassau Flight Services Ballers in the 2025 Bahamas Government Departmental Basketball Association Finals. And now only a Game 7 separates one team from hoisting the championship trophy. The Ballers staved off elimination with a 79-68 victory over the defending champions in Game 6 Saturday night at A.F. Hadley Gym. Prior to the team's latest victory, the defending champions had emerged victorious in Game 5, 76-62, to take the edge in the best-of-7 series. The series now, though, tied 3 apiece, and both teams are set to battle for the title tonight at 8 p.m. at A.F. Adderley. Long Island sailor Drake Knowles from the Mac Knowles Junior Sailing Club winning the overall trophy of the Fidelity Bahamas Optimist Dinghy National Sailing Championships over the weekend at Montague Bay. It's the first time that the championship has gone to a sailor from the Mac Knowles Junior Sailing Club out of Long Island. Sailing in the event were 68 sailors between the ages of 7 and 15, including 20 girls from 9 clubs from throughout the country and 1 sailor from Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. But congratulations to Drake Knowles. From the NFL, Sunday filled with sloppy football, silly mistakes, and head-scratching decisions. Another NFL player gave away a touchdown and carelessly dropped the ball before he crossed the goal line. A roughing the kicker penalty erased a touchdown and return in a different game, and the Super Bowl champions ignored their record-setting running back. The most egregious play of Week 5 occurred when Cardinals running back Emari Demercado turned a 72-yard touchdown run into a touchback by slowing down near the goal line and releasing the ball as Titans cornerback L'Jarius Sneed swiped his arm. Officials initially ruled it a touchdown, but a video review showed Demercado didn't have possession when he entered the end zone. Instead of increasing Arizona's 21-6 lead, Demercado's gaffe kept Tennessee in the game. Teammate Dadrion Taylor Demerson then gave the Titans a chance to win after he intercepted Cam Ward's pass but fumbled while falling to the ground in a wild play that resulted in a touchdown for Tennessee. Receiver Tyler Lockett fell on the loose ball in the end zone, cutting the Cardinals' lead to 21-19 with 4:51 left. Lott made a 29-yard field goal as time expired, and the Titans beat the Cardinals to snap a 10-game losing streak. And it was a penalty fest with penalty flags thrown on every big play this week. It seemed that way in several games. The worst may have been the roughing the kicker call on Chargers reserve linebacker Marlon Wax that wiped out a 57-yard punt return by Ladd McConkey. Late in the second quarter, Los Angeles led Washington 10-7 at the time. The penalty allowed the Commanders to retain possession, and they ended up with a tying field goal on a drive on the way to win 27-10. The Chargers, one of 10 teams that had at least 9 penalties. Those teams went 4-6. From the WNBA, Jackie Young, exhausted from the grueling 5-game semifinal series against Indiana, wasn't quite herself when the Aces began the WNBA Finals against Phoenix, and even did something rare in the opener. She asked out of the game. But after a day of rest, there was no stopping Young on Sunday. She set a finals record with 21 points in the third quarter, finishing with 32 to carry Las Vegas to a 91-78 victory over the Mercury. They now have a 2-0 lead in the series. Game 3 is Wednesday in Phoenix, where the Aces hope to put a stranglehold on the series as they chase their third title in 4 years. And from baseball, Major League Baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays putting a hurting on the New York Yankees. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting the first postseason Grand Slam in team history in Toronto beat the Yankees 13-7 to take a 2-0 lead in the American League Division Series. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. First look at weather brought to you by Star General. Hazardous marine conditions continue in Atlantic exposed waters. Large to moderate swells, high surf, dangerous rip currents, and rough seas are expected to impact northern and eastern shorelines throughout the middle of the week. Beachgoers and swimmers still being urged not to get into the waters, especially Atlantic exposed waters. Motorists and road users across all areas urged to exercise extreme caution while along coastal roadways, especially the Glass Window Bridge in Eleuthera, as we're expecting overtopping waves and sea spray. So we've got a stalled front that's going to continue to support cloudiness with showers and thunderstorms across portions of the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas. Moderate to fresh breezes will continue across the area behind the front, while light to gentle breezes will flow ahead of the front. For today, your forecast calls for cloudy and breezy conditions for the extreme northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, with a 40 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas and the central islands, we're looking at partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with a 20 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times. For the southeastern Bahamas, better conditions, mostly sunny and humid today, turning mainly fair tonight with only about a 10% chance of showers. Winds east to southeast at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times. Temperatures today look for highs around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius across most areas, the northern half of the country and the central Bahamas. The heat index will make it feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Warmer still for the southeast Bahamas, highs around 92 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. But the heat index will make it feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79, 80 Fahrenheit, about 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio, 96.9.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Your solution for rising gas prices and expensive car maintenance has landed. Brand new 2026 electric vehicles from BYD have arrived at Easy Car Sales. Imagine no more gas and major savings on maintenance. Test drive a BYD EV today and save thousands with the car that redefines driving. Visit easy242.com for our 3 locations, in-house financing, and more. Easy Car Sales, the only authorized BYD dealer and warranty provider in the Bahamas.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Marcus Samuelson, Dario Cicchini, Simeon Hall Jr., and Scott Conant, alongside a vibrant lineup of chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. From curated tasting events to beachfront feasts and immersive gallery experiences, this is more than a festival. It's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit Bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on cable Bahamas, channel 969, and BTC Flow, channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, DeAndrew Cartwright will be joining us. Also, this morning, as we said, we're scheduled to have the chair of the JCNP with us. We know there's a lot of controversy, a lot going on with Junkanoo in New Providence, and we're going to get their view on what's happening, the decisions that have apparently been made by the government on the way forward. Pardon the use of those two words there, but hey, we'll find out what's going on from the JCNP's perspective. Later, we're going to be talking about World Mental Health Day, which is coming up in just a few days. And we know we have a lot of mental health concerns here in the Bahamas. We'll talk about that today. That's all I had. Just want to make a couple of announcements. So we told you about this a couple of weeks ago on the show, the third annual Men's Health Seminar. It had been scheduled for last week, Tuesday, but we were just recovering from Tropical Storm Imelda. And so that got postponed. That's going to be happening tomorrow instead. Tomorrow at Bahamas Harvest Church. Again, that's a men's-only initiative. It's free, but men invited to come and talk about their health. It's 7 p.m. at Bahamas Harvest Church, the 3rd annual Men's Health Seminar. So be there. Okay, and just want to let you know we had an interesting day yesterday. Guardian Radio honored by the Bahamas National Breastfeeding Association, and given an award for spreading the word about the importance of breastfeeding. And I want to thank the association for a great time yesterday, and thank you for the plaque. We'll find a great place to put this, and again, hey, I believe it is, or it just was, National Breastfeeding Week. But we are happy to do our part to spread the information. Happy to do our part. All right, so let's begin, though, with what else is happening in the news. So the big headlines in the NASA Guardian, major cocaine bust, 2 islands, Cat Island and Grand Bahama. $7.8 million worth of cocaine found on Cat Island. 2 people have been arrested in connection with that. And then $4.5 million worth of cocaine found at a shipping port in Grand Bahama in a trailer, a container, and no one arrested in connection with that one as yet. But really interesting stuff. And the article mentions the dramatic increase in cocaine seizures in the past few years, gone up quite a bit from just a few years ago. So that is quite something there, right? But the other big story in the papers, and this is really disturbing, and many of you listening to the show have taken note of it, right? Almost every day we are talking about a court case involving rape in this country, rape or incest or statutory rape. Every single day. What is going on? What is happening here? So 2 very disturbing stories. Well, one we told you about a while back, about the deacon. So it's sentencing now, and the lawyers are making their cases on how much time this deacon should get. We'll get to that case in just a bit, because some interesting things are in there. But this one is really just awful. Brother sentenced to 7 years for raping sister. Wow. RRTZ Davis writing about this. A 23-year-old man on Friday sentenced to 7 years in prison after he admitted raping his little sister. The man owned up to his perverted actions before his incest trial began in May. Following his guilty plea, he was remanded to custody pending sentencing after his lawyer requested a probation report to assist the court with sentencing. On September 13th, 2023, the then 21-year-old was left home alone with his 14-year-old sister. The man asked his sister, who was showering, to unlock the bathroom door because he needed to use the toilet. She let him inside and went back into the shower. When she got out of the shower with the towel wrapped around her, her brother pushed her on the bathroom floor and raped her. The victim reported the matter to her guidance counselor, who alerted authorities. A probation officer said family and friends were surprised at the man's actions. He apologized for the pain he caused his sister and his family. The sister did not speak to the probation officer, but the mother claimed that she had forgiven her brother. The mother asked the court for leniency. The prosecutor, Tabitha Frazier, asked for a sentence in the range of 10 years to 15 years, while the public defender, James Thompson, sought a 5-year sentence. Justice Renee McKay imposed a 7-year prison sentence followed by 2 years of probation. A breach of probation will result in a 2-year sentence. Wow. Yeah, really, really disturbing. And in the same paper, Artesia Davis again writing about this. The Crown is seeking up to 30 years for a deacon convicted of attempted incest. So a 64-year-old deacon who attempted to rape his granddaughter should serve 20 to 30 years in prison, according to a prosecutor on Friday. Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Terry Archer urged Justice Renee McKay to send a strong message of denunciation for sex crimes against children. By contrast, the convict's lawyer, Lasiah Roll, asked for a sentence of 4.5 years. In support of his argument, he cited a case where a man was jailed for 9 years for incest with his niece. Oh boy. Since the offense was not completed in this case, Roll argued that the sentence should be halved, cut in half. Archer said that child sex crimes were too prevalent in the country and that the convict had shown half-hearted remorse. The man was found guilty of attempted incest in relation to his then 11-year-old granddaughter. He was 58 years old when the crimes took place. The man attempted to rape the child in August and September of 2019 while she was living with her maternal grandmother, or maternal grandparents, with her mother. The convict still has the support of his church and wife, who asked the court for leniency. A pastor said that the convict was active in the men's ministry and described him as a good person. His wife said he was a good provider and that he must have been tipsy when he committed the crimes. Wow. The convict also suggested drunkenness as an excuse for his actions and said that he had, quote, screwed up really bad. Wow. Archer said it was sickening that women would turn a blind eye to sexual abuse because their husbands were, quote, good providers. He said being a good provider didn't give a man the right to do what he wanted to the girls or boys in the family. The victim said that she wants justice for herself and her mother and that she experiences flashbacks from the assaults. She said the incident had caused her to be alienated from her mother's family. McKay will give her sentencing judgment in November. I'm telling you, it took everything out of me to not throw up during reading this article, these articles, but this is every day, every single day, there's a story like this in the paper. Every single day. Let's get your reaction to this, folks. I don't know if we can talk about this, right? But what should the deacon get for this? The Crown seeking up to 30 years. Drunk. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Drunk enough to rape your 11-year-old granddaughter? How much alcohol could one consume that would make that a possibility? My God. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. What are we going to do, folks? We've got a serious problem. We've got a brother admitting that he raped his sister. We've got this. Every single day there's an article like this in the paper. DeAndre Cartwright, good morning.
I don't know if I could say it if it's a good morning, Dwight, these days.
Well, it's a morning. It's a morning.
I was listening as I was walking in just now, and I felt physically ill. And the reality is that this is happening in our country, as you said, every day. The reports that we do hear about are only a small window to look into the house of destruction that we've created as a society, where we have children, women, the less vulnerable, that are being abused like this. And the excuses given, I'm just trying to understand. There is no excuse.
Well, the women in these men's lives certainly make excuses. That's something. I don't. But anyway, I guess stand by your man, no matter what. Let's hear what you have to say. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. Just now, I thought it wasn't a good one, but it's morning.
Hi.
Yeah, listen up, man. The reported cases maybe represent a small percentage of the actual cases.
Yeah.
Okay. And if the legal minds would take that into consideration and come to grips with the fact of the trauma that kids are going through because they can't speak, and if they talk, their parents tell them, shut up, that's your uncle, whatever the case may be. But I think we need to look at this let's look at this from another perspective, Dwight. These people who are doing this feel as though maybe that just because they commit the crime, they're not guilty of it. They're only guilty of it once the court says so. And when you have that margin of error to play with, I believe that this is the stupid intellectual one thinking like this, then it's easier for you to just take advantage of any situation. Because, if you rob a bank, you rape a bank. So I feel as though we need to look at it a little bit more seriously. And these people need help that the country cannot provide. We're just not in position to assist persons who, inside them, is an intrinsic void that will never be fulfilled by any level of education. And we have them among us. That's it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Bahamas.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Cartwright.
Good morning.
Dwight, I guess you knew I would have called on this one. But like I said on your show a few weeks back, this is basically, it seems like it's a daily occurrence. I've been dealing with this now going on 23 years. And it seems to me, right, that excessive government over the years, they don't have an issue with this, with child abuse in the Bahamas. It's not, because you said you almost vomit reading that. What you think? How do you think I feel? You would have led the charge in this country in getting the Child Protection Act passed, and when it was written, it took the Bahamas 50 years backwards because it didn't come close to addressing these deep social issues involving children, child sex, etc. It was counterproductive to what we really were trying to do, especially when we look at what we signed on to internationally in terms of the Geneva Convention, which speaks to the rights of children. But for whatever reason, we don't want to write child-friendly legislation. We don't want to create new policies and remove bad laws that is creating this type of situation that we are saying here in the Bahamas. If I am sick and tired of it, shouldn't our leaders feel the same way? Seriously, right? Shouldn't our leaders feel the same way?
Yeah, something has to be done. Absolutely. And we do need the courts, too, to send strong messages as well. Thank you so much, and keep up the great work you're doing, Cleaver. Yes.
I just want to build on what the caller had mentioned with the international instruments that our country has signed on to. Specifically, this country has stayed party to the Convention on the Rights of Children, CRC, and has been for quite some time. I urge the members of the public to go and look at the last published report that our country has actually issued pertaining to the rights of children to the United Nations. It has been quite some years. If we look at the standing mechanisms that are supposed to review the status of children, review their welfare, review what we can do to help them, you'll also see that some of those entities are non-existent, non-active, and need a complete revamping. If we look at what needs to get done, again, that has been recommended by the UN, by regional bodies. This is advice that we have not adhered to.
How often are you supposed to report?
It depends on the particular instrument. Most of them are about 4 to 5 years per period, and the majority of our country, unfortunately, is behind. The CRC is one of those things.
So much more than 4 to 5 years.
Much more.
Wow.
And again, as somebody who has a background in this particular area, who studied this particular area, who has expertise in things like the CRC, I have personally undertaken research to analyze the different entities inside this country that are mandated to protect children. And if I could speak publicly on the lack, the absence, the inactivity of a number of these, I think we would all be shocked. But then when I look at the inefficiencies that do exist, the overworked parts of the system that are trying to do their best, I just wonder, do we only pay lip service to the protection of our children? Do we truly care about strengthening the mechanisms to protect our children? And again, I am speaking from a purely factual stance. I remember undertaking literally just a review, just to see how many potential entities that would exist in the government. Over 80.
Well, I think we have enough evidence to come to a conclusion on how we view these things. I don't think we need to question or guess anymore. We're not serious at all.
Well, I mean, we look on here where it says that the deacon still has the support of his wife.
And church.
The
whole church.
So as opposed to examining the wrongdoing of the man that you claim is of God, you would prefer to demonize the child. I'm trying to understand this. And then I recall a few years ago, must have been 10 plus years at this point, where it was a similar situation with a pastor counseling the child and then blaming the child for his actions. And then I wonder about our cultural conditioning to the point where we think that persons that are of the cloth are absolved of any type of guilt, that what they do, if they ask for forgiveness, that it's okay. No. We live, unfortunately...
Well, it seems to be anybody who is a provider. As long as you're a provider...
In a position of authority, which they abuse.
You'll be fine. We seem to be whatever you do.
What was the story? Like, that was 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Dwight. The fellow was saying that he would like to have, was it house stars or something like that? So he could provide for his family still. I'm trying to understand. I cannot understand it. I struggle with it, in fact. If you have a position of power over others, is it like an obligation for some folks to abuse that?
Yeah, that's what the prosecutors are saying, that we've got to send a message that doesn't mean that you get to do whatever you want just because you are the provider.
But Dwight also just wanted to say that this is happening, the church, the schools, is all over.
All over the country, yeah.
But as a collective, as a people, we need to speak up and do something about it, but I don't know.
Callers, we'll get to you in just a second. Just want to read this text. Texter, I've told you before, we're really getting tired of you. And we have you flagged because I don't know if you're being provocative, but we can't take it. The hosts, all of them, are complaining about your text messages. We don't like it. Please.
It's just one particular texter.
This one person, well, one of many who are flagged, but these are the questions he's asking. Was this sister his blood sister, or was she adopted, or his half-sister?
Please stop.
What the hell difference does it make? It's rape, you psychopath! It could have been a stranger. And it gets worse. He says, I'm interested to know if the deacon's wife was fulfilling her wifely duties. If she has struck him, and throw this phone across the room. I swear to God.
Don't break the phone, Dwight.
I swear to God, I can't take it anymore.
We need the phone.
So he has the right to rape an 11-year-old girl? You need help. We're going to give this number over to the police because something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. These questions are not normal. These are not normal. If this is what's going on in your mind, you have a problem. And I know he's not alone. There's plenty of you thinking these things. Obviously, that's why every day we're reading these stupid stories. Because this is how you think. You want to take over the show? I need a break.
I think I need a break as well. But yeah, let me see if I can lead a bit. Because honestly,
maybe we'll go to the calls. Then maybe hopefully the calls
sure? Are we sure, Dwight? Dwight, I don't know if we're sure.
Maybe they'll help to say those people don't represent us. These are like you got,
I want to.
Maybe you got some bots that have taken over your text line.
Let me see if I could go back to what I normally am, but there's no normal, right?
Oh my God!
It's. We would hope that this person, the texter, And if y'all see some of the texts that we do get, you don't understand how frustrated, disappointed, and disturbed we can get doing this show. But we would hope that this only represents a smaller percentage of the population. However, it is our hope. We don't know if it's the reality. Because if we were to, perhaps, again, y'all know I like numbers, right? Analyze the amount of cases per capita. Like, come on.
That represents a good portion of our country. I'm telling you now.
And that's only the ones that we know about. That's only the ones we know about. I must say, Dwight, I'll try to engage. But again, as somebody who's worked in these spaces and had to listen and at some point counsel and at some point literally assist in enforcement, this is disturbing on many levels. But it being disturbing is still not enough for there to be action.
Right,
because clearly, again, every time I read that line inside the paper where the wife is standing on the side of the man, that means you are also saying it's okay for your husband to attempt to have sex with a minor
his own
who
granddaughter.
is related
his
to him.
His own granddaughter.
Right? And your entire congregation, I'm sorry, God says not to cast judgment, I believe it is, or whatnot. I'm human, so I'm human. I don't know.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Prove that the country is not as sick as we think it is.
Huh?
Help us to prove the country's not as sick as it appears to be.
Some more yelling to do it sicker than what you think it is or what you're saying it is right now.
Oh, boy.
This stuff what you're talking about been going on a long, long time.
Well, we know that. We thought that we'd be...
It's more reported now.
Yeah, we thought we'd be getting better, but it seems we're getting worse.
Yeah, we like for it to get better, and we got to pray for it to get better, but it seems like it's getting worse. Tell me something. The holiday we're coming up is going to be on Sunday, and be celebrating it on the 13th on the Monday.
National Heroes.
What you think about that?
National Heroes Day is always the second Monday in October.
Oh, it's always the second Monday. Okay, sorry, I know better now. Dwight, I thought only me one catch a story which you read earlier, but it sounded like the text writers too. Tell me something. It sounded like you say with the preacher man or the granddaddy with the granddaughter. Sound like the wife. I don't know if that's the wife or the granddaddy. Say his husband he was tipsy.
Yeah, well, both of them are saying that.
No excuse.
Yeah, both of them are saying that. He says he must.
For the Christian part, with the, I don't know if you say he's a deacon. I wonder if she slipped or the reporter missing right tipsy for like horny or something. Tipsy is like when you either drunk or something and.
No, that's they're all saying that he probably had too much to drink, and that is why.
Okay, check this one out. With the 20-year-old one, and I didn't hear that part with this 21-year-old, but now you bring it to my attention. And his sister was 14, right? This what you read. Tell me if I'm wrong. Correct me because I might have misunderstood you. The sister ain't tell the mommy when he do it, no. She went to the guidance counselor.
No, she went to guidance counselor, right, yeah.
Then the mommy fix him out and say that ask the judge or the court for lenience for her son.
Yes.
Who raped his sister, who raped her daughter. Then the mommy fix him out, and the reporter was sound like you say, the reporter, you didn't get it from the girl, but the mommy say the girl forgive her brother.
Yes.
Too much of these mothers, them and grandmothers be indulgent foolishness. They letting their little girls and their little boys them get raped up. They letting their brothers and different things them do things them and not report it. Like I tell you, this ain't nothing new. I pray it get better. It seems like it's getting worse. These mothers, you got to blame them. These females, not all of them. It's just too much of them doing a bunch of crap. Nah, I getting like you. Keep up the good work.
Well, also note that there are no fathers mentioned in any of these stories. I don't know what that's about. Where are they? Yeah, there's a lot of foolishness, lots of fingers to be pointed and blame to go around here. Caller, what say you? Good morning. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're live. Are you there? Call us back. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. That a new call? No? Same call? Okay. This text message says here, I'm not sure if it's getting worse so much as people are comfortable being despicable. Oh, boy. Well, that is worse.
Well,
that is much worse, right? People are pretty okay being demons.
So is that a devolution? A demonic devolution?
Well, there you go. I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I like. Wow, this is terrifying. You know the saying, "Drunk man, sober words." Yikes! I believe it's the same for thoughts and some actions. Alcohol isn't an excuse. Lock him up and throw away the key. Shame on his wife. Is this the same one where the wife was had a stroke and the mother is mother is blind?
Right, that was one I was
talking
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's almost, you come up with different excuses to try and explain your perverted abusive behavior.
Global
like,
warming. It's been much hotter these days.
Well, that's why you had to take off your. That's why you had to take.
Oh God. This person says, "Lord of mercy, I'm sick to my stomach. They need to go to jail, and we need to have some mental health sessions with people in general. Seeing that there is no restraint, let the penalty be the deterrent." I hear you. This texter says, 30 years for attempted incest is more than what I have heard for what murderers get. All are terrible crimes, but which one is worse? Anyway. It's sad. It's occurring consistently because the repercussions are so minor. Until we are as a society become outraged and demand better justice, things won't change. By the way, I often heard a drunk man has a sober mind. That old nasty ma knew full well what she was attempting to do. I think they mean man. Okay. See why the young people don't support the church? Too much darkness.
If y'all, I just wish, there was an analysis again, numbers that were put out, I think, those coming out of the crisis center versus what's reported by the police force. Literally, the disparity in those numbers is incredible. Again, we don't know about the cases that are not reported. We don't know about those instances where the family members tell the child that, oh, you imagine that. Oh, you can't say that. Again, and I told Dwight this on many occasions before when these conversations come up. I have literally been with children who have said their own parents has told them that they have to accept the abuse because the person doing the abusing is responsible for the bills, and they should be, in one case, happy that it was happening because they were taking care of the family. Wow. This is happening on a daily basis, ladies and gentlemen, on a daily basis. We seem to think, our little darlings are safe and secured and are innocent. No, we as a people, as a society, the innocence of our children because we have not been doing the best job in protecting them.
Yeah. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, President. How are you do both?
Well, we're trying to make it with all the foolishness going on in the country.
Two things came around. I'm the father of 4 daughters. And wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging. He that is deceived is not wise. There's no excuse about any rum or wine or whatever it is. Usually in the month of May, when they focus on children, and the month of October, Youth Month, sometimes these things come to light, but they happen all year round and so on, and it needs to be corrected. If we cannot correct the age of consent, and there's no magic number of being an adult of 18, because women need to be respected. There are cases where women have been raped, have children. The father is known. The father would not take care of the children, or the child who will become an adult by children. And the fathers may be respected people. And a lot of things is happening because persons who are who are supposed to be respected are given what sometimes the young people call a blight. Now, this youth month, they're supposed to be having a voice. The youth supposed to be having a voice. And we need to have more than just to talk about it. We need to come down hard on us men and of not protecting our children, boys and girls, even protecting them from themselves because there are other children abusing children too. So there's a lot that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Another call before we get back to your text messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Hi, let's take that line. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air. Hi, good morning, caller. You're live on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. I've been fighting this battle. The story your guest was speaking of is the bishop who was, charged and convicted of sleeping with an underage girl or whatever. They blamed the child because they said she probably threw herself on him or whatever the case may be. He was allowed to come out, go back in the church, preach, and live happily ever after. Like, I was preaching about a sexual offenders registry for years and years and years. That when someone is convicted of a sexual crime against women, females, whoever, they should be put on the registry and they should never be allowed to work around children by law. You know what I'm saying? If you leave some things up to the public, they will let anything slide.
Oh.
Even as simple as a couple of months ago when a government official was being accused of rape and other charges, only because of public pressure did the police take the case seriously. It's like it's obvious that we do not take sexual offenses seriously in this country, and all the crying and the shouting and the screaming happens until the next incident happens again. Our legal system just not take it seriously. That's just the point blank of the matter.
Yeah, it really does seem that way sometimes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, let's read these messages. This person says here, good morning. That's a cop-out because he was intoxicated. That's ridiculous. That's almost the same as if someone does something heinous. They're quick to say that person deals with mental health issues. Cop-out. Well, I mean, okay.
Let's not conflate those two
I
things.
don't know if it's the same. I don't think it's the same thing. Yeah. But just because you have mental health issues doesn't mean that you should get a lighter sentence. Right? So that's the key thing there. That might actually be the reason. I believe this deacon probably does have mental health issues. Oh, my God. And the brother as well, right? That doesn't mean they need to be getting released into the streets. Does not mean that at all. This person says here, it's all accelerated when we allow the sexual immorality of homosexuality to be legitimized in the Bahamas. Oh, yeah? LGBTWXYZ sanctioned activities along with molestation of young people are directly tied to each other. Not all molesters, but the majority of child abusers are really. Where did you get that study? When did you do that one? This isn't an opinion. It's supported by peer-reviewed studies. Which peers? Who are they? Check our prisons and ask our abuse center. All right. So abusing children, nothing to do with your orientation. But this, if you notice, none of these cases are related to LGBT. So I'm not sure why you brought that up today, but hey, that's your opinion there. Okay, good. This person says here, Cleveland Nuncombe needs to move to another country. What? The government is not entirely responsible, but instead the judiciary has to get more teeth as it relates to the subject being discussed, as well as all other laws in the Bahamas. Okay, or we could fix this country. How about that? Instead of telling people they need to leave. You're not interested in that? No? Okay. On a very serious note, please take that number to the police, please. You may be saving a child. That texter is sick. We really do believe so. Dwight, you need to calm down. Remember your heart. Okay. You're going to need, if you keep letting these callers and texters work up your pressure. I agree. We need to keep one in here at the hotels. You think so?
I think take deep breaths and longer vacations.
I'm ready to go right now.
I mean, I can't.
Wow.
I do this one day, just one day a week. Sometimes two, but
You want
no.
to switch? This person says here, drunkenness only brings out what was within the sober mind. He deserves a proper cut blank. It's sickening. Please, please, please let me punish this scumbag. That could have been my child. Well, not really. I mean, it seems like these are incest cases, right? So it's within the family. These are people that, as DeAndre mentioned, who they can control. And so that is a special type of sickness there. Special type of sickness. Thank you, DeAndre. You've coined a new term, devolution. Yeah.
Demonic devolution. Like demons.
Boy. And another text before we go. That lawyer should be ashamed of himself asking for a lighter sentence because he actually didn't rape the child. The child probably escaped him. Then he went back and tried again next month. What? Great case for consecutive sentences for each attempt. Wow. We'll pick this up on the other side of the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices, also on your televisions on Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 4224796, standard text rate supply. And now at 8:24, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Are you looking to paint? Well, your local Sherwin-Williams store has top-quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams. Okay, so here's what's going on. We've got a stalled front that's going to continue to support cloudiness with showers and thunderstorms across most of the country. That's the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas. Moderate to fresh breezes will occur behind the front, while light to gentle breezes will flow ahead of the front. The large-scale patterns expected to continue with the same amount of tropical moisture, sparking daily isolated showers and thunderstorms. Then a cold front is going to move into the northern Bahamas late this week. I haven't said those words in a while. But in the meantime, we've got hazardous marine conditions that will continue in Atlantic-exposed waters, large to moderate swells, high surfs, and rough seas expected to impact northern and eastern shorelines through the middle of the week. So beachgoers and swimmers are urged not to get into the waters, and boaters are strongly urged not to venture into Atlantic-exposed waters. Also, motorists and road users along all areas are urged to exercise caution, while along coastal roads, especially the Glass Window Bridge in Eleuthera, due to large overtopping waves and sea spray. Your forecast for today for the extreme northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini. Look for cloudy and breezy conditions today with a 40 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence and the central Bahamas, look for partly cloudy to cloudy conditions today with a 20 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Better conditions in the southeast Bahamas, mostly sunny and humid, mainly fair tonight with only about a 10% chance of showers. Temperatures, we're looking at highs for the northern half of the country around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. The heat index making it feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Warmer conditions in the southeast Bahamas, highs around 92 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like it's as hot as 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to between 79 and 81 Fahrenheit, about 26 to 28 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Tuesday, tomorrow, variably cloudy in the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas, mostly sunny for the southeast Bahamas. Still about a 30 to 40% chance of showers for the northern half of the country in the central Bahamas. Much lower chances for rain in the southeast Bahamas. That pattern will hold for Wednesday, with partly cloudy conditions across most areas into Thursday, and sunnier conditions for most areas by Friday and a lower chance of rain. We're keeping an eye on an area in the central tropical Atlantic, a broad area of low pressure associated with a low-latitude tropical wave that continues to produce a large area of disorganized cloudiness and showers several hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. Environmental conditions appear to be conducive for gradual development, and a tropical depression is likely to form midweek as this moves quickly across the central tropical Atlantic. The system has a high chance, about 70% chance of cyclone formation during the next 7 days. That is your morning blend weather check. Weather check also brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Plug into the future. The new 2026 models have arrived at Easy Car Sales, and they are electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive today. Time for a check of traffic for the morning, brought to you. Your ideas happen here. In your real-time traffic, we've got a number of hotspots to tell you about. Independence Drive, seeing some very slow-moving traffic westbound between East-West Highway roundabout and East Street and the Blue Hill Road roundabout. So that, again, that's westbound. That's going to extend into Tawny Williams-Darling Highway if you're heading westbound. Slow-moving traffic all the way up to Bahamas Games Boulevard. Eastbound on Tawny Williams-Darling Highway, also slow-moving, heavy traffic towards that roundabout with Bahamas Games Boulevard. Over on Milo Butler Highway, not looking good for you there. Heavy traffic from Hampster Road, well south of the Fire Trail roundabout, straight through that roundabout and all the way up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway in the northbound lanes there. Good luck with you if you're there this morning. And then we are seeing traffic backed up along Fire Trail as well, eastbound to that roundabout. Over on Soldier Road, near Windsor Place, you can be seeing some slow-moving traffic both directions, especially as you get closer to Old Trail. And Old Charles Drive, Robinson, also congestion there and slow-moving traffic both directions on Robinson Road. And if you're heading northbound, north of that intersection, on the way to Bernard, Wolf, and Village Road, slow-moving traffic for you also. Back to Western New Providence, we're seeing some, quite a bit of slow-moving traffic on Carmichael. Manageable, though, on the way to Coral Harbor Road. And if you're near Saunders Beach, manageable for you at the roundabout with New Providence Highway. Northbound New Providence Highway, seeing some heavier than normal traffic at this hour as well. That's your real-time traffic in your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Get a quote however it suits you. Stop by your nearest branch or get an instant motor quote online at nuainsurance.com. Quick questions or big decisions, they've got you covered.
It's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. Are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobbycraft,
Oil, shrimp,
clays.
stew, shrimp, gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
In uncertain times, resilience is everything. That's why CFAL is inviting you to the financial services event of the year, the 2025 CFAL Pension and Economic Conference. It all happens Thursday, October 16th at 8 a.m. at the Grand Hyatt Bahama Convention Center. Under the theme Resilience in the Face of Global Uncertainty, this half-day conference is your chance to gain powerful insights on navigating today's shifting global economy. This is the premier networking and knowledge-sharing event of the year, and you cannot afford to miss it. So secure your spot today at www.cfal.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Watching me and my anxiety.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with DeAndre Cartwright on this Monday morning. Is it the first Monday of the month? Yeah, first Monday of October. Final quarter of the year. Oh, my goodness.
We're almost there.
Almost there.
How many days until Christmas?
5. That's how it's going to feel. 5.
I mean, we just blinked and it's October.
Yeah, my goodness. All right, so we told you that we were expecting the JCNP with us. The chair, Dion Miller, is scheduled to be our guest. We got a message that he's been summoned to the office of the Prime Minister. He's having a big meeting with the office of the Prime Minister. Will this mean that this impasse with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and the JCNP will be resolved? What does it mean?
I want to know. What's happening with John Canoe? What's going to happen? But that's what we were supposed to find out, no?
Well, after this meeting, things might be different. So, hey, we wish everybody calmly, rationally think everything through and make this work. Make this work. And when we do have them on, they can tell us some good news.
Calm and rationality. Okay. We could hope.
When everyone gets worked up in the meeting, shake a cowbell or something,
I mean, we can some type of music.
Beat a drum. All right. So we will see. We'll try to reschedule the JCNP. And good luck with that.
People need to know. I am the people. I want to know.
Everybody wants to know. So we will continue with our very difficult discussion from before the break about the very disturbing incest cases in the country that doesn't seem to be letting up at all. Rape, the rape culture. People don't like when you say that, but we certainly do seem to have that. And across the board, very disturbing. All right, so this text, brace yourself for this one. This one, we got this right before the news, and I have to read this on the air. This is some disturbing stuff, and this is probably a very common scenario in our country. So the texter says here, morning, Dwight. In 1980, I was 9 years old when I was raped by my brother. When my mom found out, she beat me almost to death. 44 years later, I still am scarred and carry the pain and lost my innocence and childhood. I felt my mom never believed me. Later in life, she got sick and she told my brother that she will not pay him the money owed because it's her payment for not pressing charges. That made me go back to that day. The shame, pain, and burden never left. We are trained after being molested that it's our fault, but rape is murder, as you kill the victim's spirit. Until I got married and my husband taught me to love, I got professional help. Rape should definitely get the death penalty. Rapists, I guess. Wow. There was a text earlier saying that 30 years sounded extreme and that murderers around here barely get that type of sentence. But there you have it. I was thinking the same thing, that person is never the same. Never the same. Wow. Some more messages here. This person, that's really, I'm glad that you're getting the help, that you got the help, and I hope you are better. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that text. Wow. Dwight, 200 to 2,000 female foreigners come here pregnant. Really?
What? Oh.
Every year for the last 50 years. So do you think where do you think the fathers are? Oh, so these are all not Bahamian people we're talking about in the news every day. That's what you're saying? The deacon is not. Okay, yeah. Do a survey. We have a serious problem, especially when we let people with different ideologies and beliefs into our country willy. So, okay. So this is a new phenomenon. Incest is new. That's brought in by other cultures. This is not a Bahamian thing. That's what you're trying to say, texter? That there aren't tons of people on family islands from years ago, decades ago, grandparents themselves now who can tell you that what their grandfather or father did to them, brother, uncle, no, that's new stuff.
Dwight is what I said earlier. It's excuses being made for the demonic devolution of some of our people.
Wow.
So now you're going to blame it on a cultural difference. Okay.
More crackhead games is a text. A few weeks ago, I warned about what was coming, the effective closure of the Mexican border and how cartels forced to adapt would return to their roots in our region. Well, no, that wasn't speculation, it was foresight. And now with this weekend's reporting, I guess they're talking about the cocaine bust. Okay. We're seeing the ripple effects moving right through our country. With the new U.S. ambassador's mandate to stem corruption and drugs, the question for us is in the Bahamas is, what are we doing to be proactive? Are we preparing or waiting for crisis to strike? What is the crisis? Because when corruption allegations and arrests touch the ranks of law enforcement, it isn't just gossip. Our op-ed counterparts question. This is the time for decisive reform, independent oversight, and stronger intelligence partnerships led by us, not dictated to us. The tide is turning. The Bahamas must not only react to crime, we must preempt it. The world is watching, and our people are depending on leadership that acts before crisis forces its hand. Okay, or our people could stop being involved in it. How about that? You could just stop being involved.
I'm pretty sure there are reports that will show the flow of these things through our country over the years. Before I speak, let's just look at those reports, maybe. Let's just look at the flows and how long this has been going on.
This person says here, I'm Morning Blend and Bahamas, good morning. Demonic and witchcraft to the core, spiritual warfare for the souls of mankind in this hideous battle that we're experiencing. The fallen angels who are now devils. I can't continue.
Okay, so can I do it?
Oh my gosh, I have to. Okay. Let's be truthful. Since the same text, since the cell phones came into being, we are now experiencing more wild and crazy perverted things as never before. In a sense, cell phones, with all its good, has become worse than drugs. Some people seem to go berserk without their cell phones and no data. What's this in relation to?
I don't know.
This is how the demons and the witchcraft getting through to us through the cell phones and making us rape our grandchildren. This is what you're saying?
Because cell phones existed 2 generations ago.
Well, I mean, things have been bad since then. But still, I mean, what are we saying?
From before that.
Okay. So I said earlier, there, right, that we're going to be talking World Mental Health Day, which is
I think
October
we need
10th.
a session, Dwight.
This is perfect timing.
Right.
Like,
We need to take care of our mental health today, Dwight. Let's take care of our mental health today.
I wonder if the mental health programming unit people. Anyway, okay. It's a good day for that discussion. Yeah. Let's take these calls. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning to your guest.
Morning.
Dwight, yeah, man, do we know who we are bringing in this country, Dwight? No, right?
In terms of what?
In terms of anything, we don't know. Do we know who? Do we know what type of ideologies or cultural identity or habits or practices with the people what we are bringing in this country? Do
You
we
mean
know
like the
anything
tourists?
about that?
The tourists who are staying in our hotels and.
No, I ain't talking about no
Oh,
tourists,
you're
Dwight.
not talking about them.
No, I'm talking about the people we are allowing to stay next door to us, right, and can't speak a word of English, right? I'm talking about those ones, right? I'm not talking about the paying people would come into this country and staying inside our. I'm talking about those ones, the ones that have the whole Nassau saturated, and it appears that the media in particular don't want to identify the cultural practices of these people. And now, all of a sudden, it's the cultural identity of the Bahamian, right? The Bahamas is not Haiti, and whether we accept it or not, this is no indictment on these people, right? Because the truth is the truth, and the truth can set you free. Most Haitians can tell you this: the culture, the Haitians' culture, that's their culture. They molest their children, not all of them, but that's the practice.
So
right?
Bahamians don't do it at all? Is that what are you saying? Bahamians don't do this at all?
No, Bahamians does it, right? But see, the Bahamians don't do it on the level that it's on, right? We don't do it on the level it's on, and then the people don't want to admit that possibly we have some other people here. Everything is being blamed on Bahamians as if only Bahamians are in this country. But only in the negative is being blamed on the Bahamians, But if you try to say, if anything positive comes on, right, then they reject the Bahamians. But there is an agenda to belittle and undermine the Bahamian people. What I'm saying, and I'm begging to you, sir, we have a problem in this country, and it can't be always the Bahamians and pretending that there's nobody else other than man. That can't be right, and it can't be true, and it is not fair. We have to open up our eyes and accept what we've seen in this country. We know the practices of the Haitian culture, but all of a sudden, when they come to the Bahamas, they become saints, and the Bahamian becomes criminals. It's ludicrous, man. You guys have a nice day.
Dwight, I reserve my comments at this time.
I can't even speak.
I can't promise that we won't get fined from Merca, so I can't. Sorry.
So should we, going forward with our court reporting, report whether the people involved are of Haitian descent or Haitian background or like fifth-generation Bahamians? Are we going to be required to do that now? Huh. Maybe.
Okay.
So we don't do the incest thing on the level of the Haitians.
That's
very interesting. That's what he said. So
What does that
we just
even mean?
dabble in incest.
What does that mean?
Just a little here and there.
What does that mean?
Okay.
The Bahamians do it too.
But not like that.
But not like that.
We
not as
haven't
bad
mastered
as
it.
that, right?
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, you got to know. You got to know these things. Okay. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air, caller. Okay, I don't blame you for losing your voice. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. I'm so happy that our guests are here, as I said, because we really need to talk about mental health. We really do. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning to you and your guests.
Hi.
Dwight. I listen to your show just about every morning, and I like you. Having a little difficulty with your commentary about this Haitian situation, right? I mean, not only Haitian, illegal immigration.
Well, we weren't talking about that.
Huh?
We weren't talking about that.
No. I mean, in a sense, just now, when you comment on other people mentioning the little situation where they have with the illegal immigrants, I thought that they were just mentioning that, and I don't want to talk about it. I just want to tell you something what I noticed about what you just do. I mean, I don't know if it's you being facetious or trying to downplay, or not downplay, but, to try to spark some kind of conversation with people. I don't know. But the problem is, the situation with the illegal immigration is real. And you can't downplay it.
Mm-hmm.
These are experiences.
Oh, I'm not downplaying it. We're talking about incest, a brother and a deacon in the church attempting to rape his granddaughter. And suddenly people are interjecting and pushing into the conversation that we don't do that here, that this is only them other people who come here and do it.
Okay.
So I'm just surprised at it. Who knows? It might be the case. I'm just saying, let's not pretend like it doesn't happen and that there are Bahamians for generations who can tell you they've had the same experience. So this is not the time to bring up illegal migration or any type of migration.
I got you.
When we've got people, and if these people were not here legally, this would not have been the type of reporting in this matter, right? No. It would have stated that this person is here, an undocumented person who's here, and will be deported after the case. But that's not what's being stated. These are Bahamians. What their background is, we don't know. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to get into, because I mean, everybody is somewhat guilty of it to a certain extent. The Spanish community, the Haitian community, the Bahamian community, everybody does it, But yeah, we I'm just saying, I mean, we just have to take a better look and educate our people but I don't know.
Not to abuse their sons and daughters? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we need. This text says, since you guys do not know the identity of the incestuous brothers and fathers and child molesters, why are you so quick to this is a foreign culture menace? The caller says you've been downplaying it. You have been doing that for years. Shame, bro. The media do not control the narrative. The people do. Okay. So which ones are we going to own? Are we going to own that we like to murder? Or that the foreign ones too? Which ones we...
I think the more grounded.
If it's a cutlass, we didn't do it. Bahamians don't do that. Okay. But if it's a gun, we do it. A knife, kind of.
The jury's still out on that.
Okay. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Hi, we having an issue with that line? No? Okay. Caller, good morning. You're on the phone. Hi, good morning. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. I think the caller before last hit a point, but to a point that he has to recognize there's a reality that in this country, Bahamians alike do perform such acts, and as you stated before, you can go generations back and find that this has been prevalent in our family islands, so on and so forth. So we can't ignore that reality. The fact is, I think at some point in this country, we are an over-sexualized people. I mean, and sometimes men see women on the streets and they blurt out all manner of disgusting, derogatory stuff towards people they don't even know, and so on and so forth. The things that they say just comes to mind, and it's just deplorable. And I think that has been over-sexualized. But the other point too I'd like to raise is the fact that to some extent we can't ignore the reality. Also, though, there are individuals who are coming into this country that actually do not fully aware of, and sometimes these individuals can obtain citizenship, and then it is labeled as a Bahamian because of the fact that they have the citizenship. And so we also have to look at those realities. But the overall point is that Bahamians, Haitians, anybody who are called humans have access to do evil. And when evil persists in the hearts of men, they do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You know what a citizen is? A Bahamian. But I hear you. I get the point. We talk about those Europeans like that, too. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. This person says here, until we take accountability for our own actions, we will never solve these issues. It seems we want to blame Haitians for every action we take in our private homes. This is sickening. A Bahamian rapes, blame Haitians. Guns are here, blame the Haitians. Drugs or murder happens here, blame the Haitians. These folks are delusional. That's a text. This person says here, check with social services on New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco, and the abuse of children is monumental among the Haitian community compared to Bahamians and other nationalities. I dare you to have social services be upfront. My husband is a former social services caseworker. Okay. Dwight, I want you to please move the Eye Opener radio show that is on Saturdays to weekdays. It's a nice show, and more people will enjoy it during the weekday. And more people should tune in on Saturdays as well. Absolutely. This texter says here, I thank you for your objectivity when you speak and not being swayed by people saying foolish things. Continue to stand firm in actually using your brain. We seem to forget that night guard key activities happened. That's all I will say to that. Boy, I tell you, when certain people, if you come from north, whatever ideology you want to bring, you could bring it, and we'll be fine with it. But don't be anyway. Good morning, caller. You are live on the air. Hi. Good morning.
Yeah, but Bahamians, piggyback on this and that. We have a lot of Bahamians doing things in this country because the Asians, they doing is they do. Because I met a young girl that she get molested from her old man. Her daddy is Asian and mommy is the Bahamian. He's still looking for him, and she's still a big girl now.
Okay, got to turn on your radio. We're hearing a lot of feedback or something. I'm not sure what that is.
You get me now?
It's a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, so I met a girl that her Haitian father did bother molest her. She's in her 20s now, but they're still looking for the daddy and everything. But the mother died. But everyone know that. Yeah, so we know the Haitians them do play what they do. Molest their daughters them and everything. That's known for. And the Bahamians that do. I met a lot. Hey, it's so funny, Dwight. I just come across a lot of women who I meet in my days get molested. From their daddy, from their uncle, and even from their mummy husband.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this thing real, right? I talk about big. It's a lot out there.
Yeah. If you ask people, ask boys, men too. You'd be shocked.
Yeah, boys too.
But where are these people from? Who you're asking? Where the molesters from? Where?
It's Bahamians.
Oh, that's interesting.
They Bahamians don't mind the noise around here. We get a lot of these we get a lot of these men them so wicked. We find them and you don't mind them wearing coat suit and this and that and all that on these pulpits and thing and all that. They praise. They molest, they boy around these and thing with it. Right? The woman right there ready to give it to them free. They want nothing free. They want to take it. That's how
it's about power. Yeah.
Get the woman to them, but they don't want it. But then they won't molest them. See, Dwight, I have a 9-year-old, Dwight. Dwight, I try to be protecting, and I always telling them, mommy, please stop putting it this way and putting it that way. See, Dwight, please put these children them in a way where they get these things happen to them, man. You understand where I come from?
Yeah.
So we have a lot of these people just doing dirty. It's doing dirty because I sometimes I have to counsel some of these girls and big ones when they come up and then they Parents and basically the whole family know. Family them know. Everyone know. They don't report it. They never report it. Some of them get big. One girl who I used to like, she told me she got molested. She got molested from her husband. And her mother beat her so bad, and everyone get mad and everything and all that. And then the next thing is this one who I used to talk to, her cousin got molested from her mother, husband, but she was in the same room. And she's the one who went and talked it. She went and tell the man they beat her. She said they beat her, they do that. But they know, and what happened is the girl get pregnant. That's how we get catch. So a lot of Bahamian men out here doing these dumb stupidness. I don't know why they're doing this. Come on, how you could do this to your daughter, man? You have a nice, beautiful daughter there. You know, Dwight, you know, when the world, my mind, even closer. The only thing that's my mind on her is trying to protect her from these prayers, right? Yeah. And these guys, they just like these, they just like things, but they just could. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know how they could catch a hard on or catch something for these young girls, Yeah, I have to go on that, Dwight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You keep up doing what you're doing, though. Wow. I know it's tough to hear that your own people are doing these horrible things. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
The thing is, Dwight, like we said earlier, there are many stories, many realities of this abuse that has been going on for generations. And as soon as we face this happening, no matter your background, it's happening. Then we get closer to actually addressing it, resolving it properly. But as much as we continue to find excuses, it's going to continue.
Yeah, it's never going to get better. Let's read these final messages before we have to go to the news. This person says here, please ask the hospital to provide the number of children born to children under the age of 14. How do we have dozens, possibly above the hundreds yearly, having children and no one is charged? You'll find that it is an epidemic in the Haitian communities where their culture says when a female sees her cycle, she is considered a woman, even if she is only 9. We are a nation that hides these occurrences. I believe there is some credit to the assertion that Haitians are bringing their culture into the country. I don't throw all the blame on them, but I do agree that there is a problem and should be acknowledged. Okay. Regarding the caller talk we let in, so I guess if you're fairer-skinned and you pay to visit and you pay to reside or get paid to come here and work, then you can bring any of your ideologies. Our people are wild in the way we look at Haitians, accountability for our own history, or our choice to take part in what we know or believe to be right or wrong. And this person says here, my ex-wife was also raped from her Haitian stepdad, so it's a fact. It's real among that culture and the out islands. Okay, I'm sure it is real. Let's go to the news.
Please, pretty please.
Hopefully when we come back, our guests will help us as we talk about World Mental Health Day, which is coming up on October 10th. Stay tuned for that. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Shine my cutler, shout out to Oyenda, that's the guzzler. Okay, next thing, my life is a wet dream. I call it a sex scene, the bag is a nice tease. I tried to escape, my life is an X-ray. I'm sorry, a sex tape, you only get one take. Quiet on the set, please. In 3, 2, anxiety, keep on trying me. I feel it quietly, trying to silence me. Anxiety, shake it off of me. Somebody's watching me, is my anxiety.
Tis the season for dreams to come true. There's Santa for the kids and CIBC Caribbean for you. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates and assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
When it comes to hearts at Cleveland Clinic, you can't miss a beat. You seek the best care possible, work with the brightest minds, and leave no stone unturned to get to the heart of the matter. Because understanding is always the first step to overcoming. For every heart in the world, see how we're advancing the future of heart care at Cleveland Clinic today.
R.M. Bailey, 85 Paces. Where you at? It's all about the Stay Code this Discovery Weekend, Saturday, October 11th, from 12 midday to 5 p.m.
R.M. Bailey Park, our very own Canterbury team. Steak off the grill, chicken off the grill, mouth-watering fried fish. Tickets are only $20. In the starter corner, Conky Conk fritters, chicken wings, and cheesy macaroni. In the dessert corner, pound cake, delicious chocolate cake, and carrot cake, all on sale. Get tickets for the entire family. Part proceeds will aid classmates' medical fund and rehabilitative care. Music by DJ Marcy. Don't meet me there. Meet me there on October 11th at 12 midday to 5 p.m. R.M. Bailey Park. Class of 85 Staker.
I will always help him out. If my brother's in trouble, I will turn the world around. I will fight for his right.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on Guardian Talk Radio, Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Daniel Boulud, Marcus Samuelson, Dario Cicchini, and Simeon Hall Jr., a lineup of Bahamian chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. And don't miss an electrifying live performance by global superstar Lenny Kravitz, headlining the festival's welcome party on Friday, October 24th, with a concert experience you won't forget. This is more than a festival, it's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit Bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage. Bahamar, life spectacular.
Your solution for rising gas prices and expensive car maintenance has landed. Brand new 2026 electric vehicles from BYD have arrived at Easy Car Sales. Imagine no more gas and major savings on maintenance. Test drive a BYD EV today and save thousands with the car that redefines driving. Visit easy242.com for our 3 locations, in-house financing, and more. Easy Car Sales, the only authorized BYD dealer and warranty provider in the Bahamas.
The Paint Depot and exterior paint, material and supplies, automotive, marine and industrial, Rust-Oleum, color wheel, joint compounds, sealers, and much more. We are your distributor for automotive art colors. We have pressure washers, ladder rentals, and accessories. Select any color and we'll mix it and deliver it to you. Family Island orders are welcome with bank transfers. Get your free quote today. Free delivery to the mailboats, homes, and businesses, too. The Paint Depot, number 151 Mount Royal Avenue. Open Monday to Saturday, 7:30 to 5. The Paint Depot. We supply all your painting needs.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General Insurance.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, October 6th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright. And this morning, our series with the Department of Public Health and the Ministry of Health continues. Is fast approaching. It's October 10th. We're going to talk about that with our guests. They're back. You might as well be here every week, right? I think we need a weekly segment with Christina Johnson and Kennitta Saunders. Kemp. Ladies, great to see you again.
Thank you for having us.
Hello.
All right, so I promise we'll talk about World Mental Health Day specifically and the symposium and all the wonderful things going on. But you probably caught a bit of our conversation before. We were talking about a serious issue, rape, incest. And Deandra can tell you, often when we talk about these social issues, at least once a week somebody points out that that's not a Bahamian thing. We wouldn't do that. That's not us. That's got to be them other people coming here, and because we don't do that. Let's talk about that. As we said, that is becoming a very common response to things happening in our country. What does that mean? What do you hear, a psychotherapist, when you hear people talk like that? That's not us.
Well, denial is a serious thing. Unfortunately, it's easier to deny than to accept or to take accountability, to actually acknowledge what is happening. And honestly, social ills happen everywhere. It's not something that only happens certain places. Every culture, this happens. Mm-hmm. So that's my little piece on it. Denial is a serious thing.
And as a victim, what do you hear? Like we were talking about rape and incest, and our conversation was hijacked by discussions about illegal immigration. I can imagine that is not a pleasant place to be, where everything else, you bring up an issue and it is taken over. What does that mean for victims?
So I'll just say encourage them to seek help. To get help to the situation that occurred. We do have free counseling centers, and then we also have helplines. If you're not comfortable going in person, you can be confidential. Pick up a phone call and speaking to a mental health professional, talk about your challenges, your experiences. They need that help to help you cope with the difficult time you may be having with the situation.
Yeah. Can we talk a little bit about rape and incest? That is a mental health issue, right? How do you process this? Because people are asking, how and why could you do this? What do we know?
So when it comes to that, I think it would be best for you to speak with people who deal with psychopathology. In our capacity at the ministry, we do not do that. So I would advise definitely talking to somebody who works in maybe clinical psychology, forensic psychology, psychiatry on that subject.
Yeah, okay. All right. So let's talk about World Mental Health Day. What is the theme this year, and why is it important to observe this day?
Okay, so I'd just like to say World Mental Health Day is always observed the 10th of October every year. And this year themes will be access to mental health services in catastrophes and emergencies. So we were going to have a special event on Friday at the Centerville Seventh-day Adventist Church, 5th Terrence Collins Avenue, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Yeah, so our symposium, we're going to have a range of speakers from different agencies represented, different perspectives will be represented, because we do want to amplify, when it comes to catastrophes and emergencies, we tend to just think about extreme weather events, particularly hurricanes. But we also need to be cognizant of the fact that these catastrophes and emergencies don't have to just be that. It can be things like another pandemic. Hope we don't have another one, but it's possible. The wildfires that we have been experiencing, any sort of tragedy in the community as well. So that's really what the theme is, all-encompassing.
Yeah. How are we doing in terms of dealing with the catastrophes that we've seen?
Well, we still have our helplines up and running in collaboration with the Bahamas Psychological Association. So we initially had 4 lines, but now we have for the general helplines, the male helpline, the Creole population, children and adolescents. So people are still calling in. They still want to talk about situations that have occurred. Even how we had that tropical depression or storm, people were calling in the helplines, because they were having a difficult time as it relates to the wind and the rain. So they wanted to talk to somebody about those challenges at that time. So still active and still running.
Wow. These are people who were in Dorian?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Yes.
My goodness. Yes. That is tough. Yeah. All right. So give us, again, the details about the symposium and how folks are interested could be a part of it.
Sure. So it will be at the Centerville Seventh-day Adventist Church, excuse me, which is on First Terrace, Centerville. It will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registration is free, and there will be lunch included. We have an event page that has been shared on our Ministry of Health and Wellness Facebook page, Bahamas Psychological Association Facebook page, and also Mental Health Programming Unit Facebook page. I believe it is wmhd.event. And so please do register. We'd love to have you come out and support. It'll be a day filled with a lot of interesting conversations about the topic.
Yeah. Speaking about conversations, who are you targeting as your audience? Who do you want to be there? It sounds like a variety of ages should be present to learn, but who do you really want to be there?
Well, everybody, because catastrophes and emergencies can occur to any population of the Bahamas. So the students can come out, teachers, guidance counselors, government agencies, nonprofit organizations, Red Cross. It's a wide spectrum because we all can be affected by anything what we may encounter.
Right.
Okay. And I wanted to know, so this is in person, not virtual at all, though?
We will be live streaming as well for that option for our Family Island residents as well.
Of course, because that was going to be my question. It's a good Long Island girl.
Yes.
All right. So you've been talking quite a bit for some time about mental health. Are you noticing any changes, any shift in how we perceive and how we think about mental health in the country?
Absolutely. Previous time on the show, I think we would have mentioned that we do travel through the Family Islands to render mental health and psychosocial support, primarily through psychological first aid training. And even in the Family Islands, we've seen a shift in how we are received in terms of people being very receptive to this. Even the conversations here in the capital, things have been shifting as well. I think people are more accepting, people are more compassionate. Of course, stigma will be a consistent battle, but there have been shifts towards more positivity, towards legitimizing mental health concerns and really embracing that this is part of the everyday human experience.
Right. Now, we got an interesting text earlier in the show, somebody saying that everything these days, people will say it's mental health. your mental health is a factor in everything, right? You're not saying that this person's suffering from a mental health breakdown in order to get a free pass. No, just so you can understand the reasons for the behavior, right? Explain to folks who think I can do anything and claim I have a mental health problem.
Okay, so I always like to say that, so the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we behave. So that will be factors on our good mental health. Because everybody has feelings, everybody has emotions. We express emotions differently, but that's fine because we are human beings at the end of the day. That doesn't technically mean that you have a mental illness. So that is the difference. Everybody has mental health. Everybody go through experience in life. And that doesn't mean that you are different.
Right.
Yes. So we want to normalize the conversation as it relates to mental health. It does not mean that you're, I'll say the C word, but it just means that you're taking care of each other because you don't even know who may be going through something difficult and you may be having a hard time. But if you listen and you talk to somebody, you can never know what impact that may have on them because some people just really need someone to talk to at the end of the day. And if you will be open and willing, like, are you really checking on that person? Are you okay? So just healthy conversations about it. No need to be stigmatized or say something is wrong. Feel feelings, you're not.
Right.
I'll add to that a little bit. In terms of using mental health issues as an excuse, I feel like people who rush to that conclusion, I would challenge you to look at the flip side of that. Rather than seeing it as an excuse, how about you exercise and extend some understanding and compassion? This is an opportunity to connect. This is an opportunity to learn, as opposed to just being flippant and saying, yes, this is just an excuse. They're using it as an excuse.
Right.
So I'd like people to consider the flip side as well, just to be a little bit more compassionate and understanding.
Yeah, and you're seeing that change as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful stuff. Again, we're talking with Kennitta Saunders, Kemp, and Christina Johnson. World Mental Health Day is October 10th. You can text us 422-4796, and you can give us a call 323-6232. 325-4316-32559. Toll free 242-300-5720. We'll go to the calls in just a bit. But give us an update on what's happening with the Family Islands and what you've been doing the past few months.
Sure. So we will be having some upcoming trips to the Family Islands for psychological first aid training. We will be going to Eleuthera mainland, and we will be going to Long Island. Deandra, I know that's your favorite.
I love to hear it. Yes.
Yes. So these will be our follow-up visits, as we have already completed the first round, which is really just establishing contacts, getting to know people in the community. And now we are moving forward with the psychological first aid training.
Okay. Wonderful stuff. All right, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air. Hi. Good morning, caller. You're live. Hi, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. All right, let's take that one. Good morning, caller. You are live on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Morning.
Yeah, I have a joke for Mr. Strachan this morning. Could the psychiatrist or psychologist in there explain to Mr. Strachan that you said mental health, I guess Mr. Strachan thinks I'm crazy, right? But I'd like the lady to answer this. For me in this human journey, I read a lot before Google, and I just like to express myself, right? So I just like for Mr. Strachan to know that sometimes it's actually great to let people hear themselves once they're not attacking anybody personally. It helps with my sanity because I don't have a problem with lies, right? But it really gets to me when false information is disseminated to the masses and people don't know the difference. It kind of like it bothers me. It's a problem for me. So I don't know, maybe one of these days I could come and you could psychoanalyze me, because what happens is then the truth becomes a lie and a lie becomes the truth. And we see it with politicians, the gaslighting. So my question is, why is that for me? Because what I'm saying is we all have our individual untruths. But officials, etc., politicians, the professionals, etc., they must realize that they must be held accountable, insurmountable to the Almighty, the Creator, for intentionally.
So you're straying us a little bit away from what we're talking about here, but thank you for that. we're inundated with a lot of information. And what impact does that have, being surrounded by negative thoughts and bad news? What does that do with your mental health? And what can we do to be healthy in terms of your mental health? Especially in an environment that we're in today, where you just can't hide from it, no matter what. What would you recommend?
When it comes to dealing with hearing?
But just the bad news that you're inundated with all the time. Mm-hmm. Just any tips?
I'll say probably limit media use to minimize the feeling of misinformation. So try to limit your social media use. Take a break for a while or a day or two. So that would be my little helpful tip for that.
Yeah.
Taking care of yourself. We all go through a lot on the daily. And so being able to tap into self-care practices, that can be from, just making sure you have some quiet time, making sure you do some breathing, eating well, sleeping, getting rest, all of those good things. Just being sure that you are up on your self-care routine.
Yeah. Any other things that will be happening during these next few days leading up to World Mental Health Day? And anything else that people should do, can do? Any special color, anything like that people can wear, maybe?
I'll say green. World Mental Health Day color is green. So we have our ribbon. We're wearing our ribbon in support of World Mental Health Day.
Okay. Wonderful stuff. All right, so we've got a lot of messages from what we were talking about earlier. We're going to get back to that in a bit. If you ladies want to stick around for that, you're more than welcome to. But thank you for being here this morning. Again, happy World Mental Health Day. That is October 10th. Christina Johnson and Kennitta Saunders Kemp, thank you again. Appreciate it. Keep up the great work you're doing with the Mental Health Programming Unit.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so we'll get back to these messages in just a bit, folks. Brace yourselves. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Bigger. In uncertain times, resilience is everything. That's why CFAL is inviting you to the Financial Services Event of the Year, the 2025 CFAL Pension and Economic Conference. It all happens Thursday, October 16th at 8 a.m. at the Grand Hyatt Bahama Convention Center. Under the theme Resilience in the Face of Global Uncertainty, this half-day conference is your chance to gain powerful insights on navigating today's shifting global economy. This is the premier networking and knowledge-sharing event of the year, and you cannot afford to miss it. So secure your spot today at www.cfal.com.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
West Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, they're the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The Central Bank of the Bahamas, in a release on its website, advising that a public consultation on a compendium of proposed legislative reform for public consideration. The bank says that the public consultation consists of two separate papers designed to enhance the financial regulatory framework, strengthen depositor protection, and improve overall the resilience of the financial system. The first paper outlines amendments to several key pieces of legislation, including the Central Bank of the Bahamas Act and the Bank and Trust Companies Regulation Act, the Protection of Depositors Act, and the Protection of Depositors Bylaws, and more. You can read all about it in today's Guardian business section. Bahamas-based Sterling Bank and Trust Limited has been fully absorbed by Mauritius-based IIHL Capital Limited after it acquired the remaining 49% equity from the remaining shareholder, MS Sterling Bank Corp. Incorporated. The statement from Sterling further explains that IIHL acquired 51% equity in Sterling in September 2022. According to Sterling, the bank will be changed from Sterling Bank and Trust Limited to IIHL Bank and Trust Limited. There's more on that in today's Guardian business section. Shadow Minister of Finance Kwesi Thompson accusing the government of producing financial reports with sudden shifts, often in the tens of millions of dollars, without providing the Bahamian people with a clear or timely explanation. Thompson responding to reports in the Tribune that the Ministry of Finance had not justified the removal of $37.3 million from the spending and deficits incurred between July and November 2020. It also said that the Ministry of Finance, when it unveiled the government's fiscal performance for June and the full budget year, revealed that the fiscal deficit only exceeded initial projections by 13% to close to $78.9 million compared to the originally targeted $69.8 million. However, a closer inspection of the figures disclosed that the government only came so close to its target because of last-minute changes to monthly expenditure and deficit figures for the first 5 months of the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Citibank has joined its global family in implementing generative artificial intelligence for the benefit of its clients and empowerment of its employees. Citibank Bahamas General Manager John Lopez says that Gen AI will help Citi employees make faster and more informed decisions. He says that the technology is not a substitute for the intuition of the bank's employees, though. The statement says that Citi has introduced 4 new Gen AI tools that will streamline and enhance compliance, risk, human resources, and finance. Overseas, semiconductor maker AMD will supply its chips to artificial intelligence company OpenAI as part of an agreement to team on building artificial intelligence infrastructure. OpenAI will also get the option to buy as much as 10% stake in AMD. It's the latest deal from the ChatGPT maker as it races to beef up its AI computing resources. Under the terms of the deal, OpenAI company's high-performance graphics chips, the Instinct MI450, which is expected to debut next year. AMD also issued OpenAI with a warrant allowing the AI company to buy up to 160 million shares of AMD's common stock. That amounts to about 10% of the company based on AMD's 1.6 billion outstanding shares. In your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Friday, your market movers: Commonwealth Brewery moving 600 shares, closing at 10.25 unchanged. Galena Holdings moving 500, closing at 13.14 unchanged. Consolidated Water up 1 cent, closing at 6.72. And Emira Incorporated up 4 cents, closing at 11.75. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,063.34, up 0.04. Recapping the week, the local market ended the week with 141,082 trades, accumulating a value of $713,125. The BISX All-Share Index gained 24.58 points, or 0.809%, ending the week at 3,063.27. Year-to-date, the index is up 55.05 points, or 1.83%. The week's volume and value leader, Cable Bahamas, moving 85,375 shares in 9 trades for a value of $336,761. That's your Market Watch. And that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Okay, I'm barely getting by. I'm losing track of day, losing sleep at night. I am not okay. I'm hanging on the rails. So if I say I'm fine, just know I learned to hide it well. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know when it's all said and done.
In uncertain times, resilience is everything. That's why CFAL is inviting you to the Financial Services Event of the Year, the 2025 CFAL Pension and Economic Conference. It all happens Thursday, October 16th at 8 a.m. at the Grand Hyatt Bahama Convention Center. Under the theme Resilience in the Face of Global Uncertainty, this half-day conference is your chance to gain powerful insights on navigating today's shifting global economy. This is the premier networking and knowledge-sharing event of the year, and you cannot afford to today at www.cfal.com.
This October, let's come together for hope, support, and strength.
It's the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group Dollar Day, happening Friday, October 17th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., right on the Nassau Guardian Grounds, Carter Street.
And the best part? With just $1, you can help make a difference in the fight against breast cancer. Every dollar counts toward awareness, education, and support for women battling this disease.
Come out, drop $1, and stand with us for a cause that touches so many lives.
Join us on Friday, October 17th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and let's turn every dollar into hope.
That's the Sister Breast Cancer Dollar Day, proudly sponsored by the Guardian Media Group, Star 106.5, and Guardian Radio 96.9.
Bigger, longer, wider. Saturdays are getting supersized on Guardian Radio, following the always heavy-hitting The Eye Opener at 9 a.m. Stay tuned for the fit from 10th year seniors at 11 a.m. Now for a full 2 hours. Then Tell to Stanya at 1 p.m. is now even longer at 90 minutes. The big, all-new season of Our Blue Bahamas from Breathe is now at 2:30 p.m. And the Happy Hour with Deandra Cartwright is smiling wide at its new time, 3 p.m. It's the new big Guardian Radio Saturdays on 96.9 FM or GuardianTalkRadio.com.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright. I woke up today, I almost stayed in bed, had the devil on my back, and voices in my... Some days it ain't all bad, some days it all gets worse, some days I swear I'm better off laying in that dirt. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know, when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright, gonna be alright.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Deandra Cartwright, Morning Blend Business. And I'm wrapping up with a final few minutes. The conversations we were having earlier, difficult conversations. We're going to get to Pinewood Gardens as well in just a bit. But lots of conversations about rape and incest and the disturbing stories that we hear about every day. And what's really going on here. And so lots of folks are claiming, hey, this isn't us. This is not who we are, and this is other people doing this. What this text says in response to that's total denial, because this has been happening for years prior to the latest waves of immigration of foreign nationals. Yeah, I think we know better. Not saying that it is not a problem in those societies and those communities, but this is across the board.
As our experts just said, this is present in every area, right? In every walk of life, every background, it's there.
Yeah. This person says here, the problem of rape and incest is a tribalism behavior from our African connection and... Oh, boy. Okay.
So would you
African
also say
connection.
that those of European descent don't have similar...
I don't know what they're trying to say.
Like, I can't...
And so not in Asian communities either?
No,
yeah, really?
okay.
Really? Okay. Anyway, Haitians and Bahamians do engage. It is sinful in Jehovah God's sight. We have to seek Jesus Christ to change our ways. Now the riotous living is compounded with the mixed culture. Say come, yea. Okay, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Okay, sorry. Oh, my head. This texter says here, I've heard the stories. However, the Africans and Haitians see it as an honor to display such actions on close family. Bahamas and some family islands were known, and they keep saying the family islands only. The family islands were known to engage in such, but with mixed cultures, it's become worse and offensive. We need Jesus Christ in our lives for cleansing and salvation.
Dwight, I'm struggling.
I heard of a 13-year-old Bahamian girl just last year was raped by her brother, and a baby in the family hid it. I think the hospital and social services where the teens come in have to lock up the people and the parents. There are too many sick people out there. Another text. The most egregious case of sexual abuse was the account of the senior police officer who subjected a young woman walking along the street to gross sexual abusive commentary. When she rebuffed his offenses, his offensive advances, he tracked her down, arrested her, punched her in the eye, hardened her to detach her retina, and ordered his junior officers to lock her up in his station. Over a year ago now, and to date, we don't know the officer's name or if the case was dismissed. That is awful. That is awful.
That's why women are afraid to rebuff men's advances. They try to find different ways to deflect it. And it's still not enough. What, again, women have to go through in this country, what children, the vulnerable among us, those are different categories, right? You have persons who have disabilities that are also abused. You have the elderly that are also abused. These are known as vulnerable populations, right? This is present. It does exist. It is pervasive. It doesn't matter your background. It is happening. The sooner we can accept that, the sooner we can start to address it appropriately. But the longer we find excuses for this type of behavior, for this abuse, it will continue. And that's why it's been for generations, plural.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight. Your guest, how you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up a topic, right? Because your guest, I'm 100% sure she wants to come back on your show, so she's probably not going to say it, but I don't have that handicap available to me, right? We have people said that rape is not common in the Bahamas, right? Or it's not a Bahamian thing, right? We have a thing called junkanoo. Remember back, I don't know if it still happens, right? Remember back in the day, you walk a woman through a corner or around a group of individuals, right? and the woman gets feel up. The problem is we have normalized certain things in the Bahamas. That's why we don't call it rape. It's normal. We normalize stupid things. And the second thing I want to jump on to, right, which I guess I hope she would have brought up, right, depression. Depression is also an illness. A lot of people have depression, and it's actually undetected. We call it sadness, but if unchecked, it could lead to suicide. I'll hang up and wait for your guest to respond on those 2 points.
Well, I guess from the mental health programming unit have left us, but yes, and other things, right? God knows what else people who are depressed are doing, not just suicide. Probably some of these other horrible things are happening in our country.
No, but it's also the result of that type of abuse happening.
Yeah,
Persons being
it's all related.
It's so many different outcomes that people face on it. But, the point that the caller made about Junkanoo and whatnot, that was a whole... that
The Haitians?
Purposely, when I personally go out, and I'm the type of junkanoo, I switch. So when I was younger, I was literally on Shirley Street, right? Between Shirley Street, Bay Street, different sides. So I've done the standing up, I've done the bleachers, I've done every form of it, right? Because I love junkanoo. And walking through those crowds, the groping that happens, people know that it's going to happen. And the fact is that we as a people accept that type of nonsense. I mean, for goodness sakes, personally, if I could share this, Dwight, I was at a fitness class in the mall at Marathon. And there was a man there harassing me during the fitness class to the point where he was filming me and trying to get under my exercise skirts, even though I had pants on. And he saw nothing wrong with that.
This was in the gym?
This was in the mall at Marathon.
Wow.
And I had to call the police officer over to ask him to please talk to the man because I'd asked him to delete the footage, to leave me alone. And he said it's his phone. He can do whatever he wants. That's only a small thing that happens because people actually get irate and confrontational.
Wow.
What women have to go through in this country, again, women, children, the elderly, the persons with disabilities. This happens on the daily. The fact that we've had all of these callers today that have been telling us, the texters that have been telling us that this exists.
Very few women calling, though. You notice that? It's all men.
I would also say trauma is a serious thing, Dwight.
Oh, boy. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Dwight. How you do?
Doing well.
You, Mom. Good morning to you, too.
Morning.
Well, I mean, as a male, the things that I'm hearing now kind of has me a little, not too baffled, but thinking now, why would I want to touch a woman to junkanoo and she is with her significant other? Why would I want to touch a woman in suppose you miss and touch that woman in a weak spot and she gets into a feeling? Would you benefit from that? The person who she is with will benefit from that. You won't benefit nothing. You lose in that. But what I really called on is this thing. Then the mother could have gone to the food store and say, leave the children with the daddy. Me being a male, me being a father and a grandfather. Sometimes it is so, what I'm here going around now with these fathers and these brothers and then boarding with their sisters and their daughters and stuff. This is sickening, man. And I ain't blaming no Haitian, no Jamaican, no Chinese. No, I'm blaming us, men in general. I don't care what nature you are. Once you're born with a penis, you're a male. I'm blaming the male seed. You know, and this thing with the reverends and the deacons and things, this might have been happening a long time, you know. But this is now came out to light. Because I can call its name. The case is now finished. He have already spent his time and everything. Since Mr. Randy Fraser case, this thing became normal now.
I wouldn't go that far. It's been happening long before that, and it
now.
Okay.
Than back then. Now it might have been happening before, you know.
It definitely was.
But it was like swept under the mat. But after the time, almost every week, every other week, you hear a deacon, a rev, and these people didn't just became deacon and reverend. So how long this thing was going on?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate the call. All right, let's take these other calls. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? All right. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Caller, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Hi.
I feel like something is definitely wrong with all of the politicians. They allow things to fester, to build up, until something happens. Like, for instance, you know you're going in there to try to change the law. They wouldn't change none of these old laws and what ain't serving the country no purpose. These politicians is the worst of the worst. FNM and PLP, who all inside there, they just a waste of our time in this country. There's nothing. All they want to do is go in there and get fat and rich and juicy. They ain't checking for this country. We can't keep going this way, sir. How long we can keep on continually going with these old laws? Everything is just mashed right up in this country. This country ain't nothing that's working this country.
Which ones would you like to see changed?
Every law. Every law has to be upgraded. You get catch with a gun, you're supposed to give him more time. You get raping, like the man just now, he get 7 years for raping his sister. And his mother can have the heart to come on, but they need to be lenient with them. We in trouble in this country. These politicians is just a waste of time in the country. They mean the country no good. Only thing they're interested in is getting rich. Half of these MPs, none of their children live in this country, you know. You check it out. None of their children live nowhere around in this country. All of them off to the best schools, the best university. They don't care about us. We have to start getting rid of these people and show them what we want them to do. You can't. You get catch with anything illegal. Look, you get catch with drugs. They don't want to give you no time. Change the law.
Okay.
What you have these politicians doing?
Thank you so much. Appreciate
They
you calling.
doing nothing but running down this country, sir.
Wow. Okay. I appreciate you. This texter says the Fourth Estate has to bear some of the blame because they don't want to push for the public to know of the wrongdoings when high-ranking people are involved. Well, that sounds like sense. Yeah, really? You just wanted to type that. But okay, because that's the only time you're learning about anything through the media. But you want to say that. So, yeah, blame everybody, but sure. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi. Good morning, folks. How are y'all?
Doing well. I think you are the first woman to call all day. Wow, look at that. Thank you.
Listen, you know, with this thing, this incest thing, and this has been happening in this country from
The Haitians, the people say it's only because of the Haitians.
No, sir. Listen, I can call some island name. Spanish Wells, Long Island, Auckland. You hear? And you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. I don't want really, all right? A lot of them, it's called inbred. They born children. The children born blind. They born dumb. When they say dumb, I mean when they talk like something wrong with them. Okay? They born deaf. They born, they live simpletons. When you look, I know in Auckland, when the children, they peep around the house, they look at you, they break off running. Because it's been here a long time. The uncle and the niece have children together. And I saying this, right? I think the solution is sensationalize it. Okay? Okay? In Spanish Wells especially, they don't want nobody black over there. So guess what? The niece and the uncle, and then you have the children. This one deaf. Or, mind you, they look normal. This one deaf, the next one blind, the next one can't talk good, all right? And then you have simpletons. They can't understand nothing. That is the result of the daddy going with the daughter and the uncle going with the niece or a cousin going with cousin. And that happened long, long time. And if you look at them, nice-looking people, right? But that's what... Okay, and there's a book. Because I was a librarian. Listen, there's a book called Old Island Doctor. And that's an old book. I don't know if you could find a copy of it. But that doctor speak about it, particularly Spanish Wells. And that's from back in 1964. I think he published that book. All right? And also another book
And
called
I'm sure,
Islander in the Stream.
Yeah. And I'm sure the issues were here in your province
Anyway,
as well.
I
Thank you.
called to say that. Okay?
Yeah.
Thing is, Haitian nothing. All right? Haitian. Even though I think we're inundated with them. But it ain't that. That's been going on a long time. On Meguana, I know where the uncle was married to the niece. All right? But for every child, the niece he had with his wife, he had with Auntie, with the niece Auntie. That's been going on a long time, man. Anyway, see y'all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. One final call on this. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
I was forced to call back. I'd like to apologize for D'Angelo for something that happened to her. But, I mean, the thing is with me, Mr. Strachan, is thanks to the caller or the text who texted in about the case with the police officer who had brutalized the lady for turning her on, right? So the question for me is for something like that. I've had a female friend who actually had that happen to her, but she was not beaten, but she was actually picked up and carried to the Quaker Street station. And she called me to pick her up. And she lived off Farrington Road, and she was walking. And I was about to go and get her, and the police car pulled up on her, and they said something or whatever, and she didn't. And he just ended up locking up. And this happened. That's nothing to be lie about. What I'm saying is, the question for me then, as females, why don't females gather together, right, and ask for some changes? Because what I'm saying is, that police officer, I'll bet you, Mr. Strachan, he's still on the police force. I guarantee you that. Okay?
I could answer you real quick right there.
I'm fighting part about it now. I live in the inner city. All demographics. I know young Haitian female ladies who have given me stories. I've seen them being active before they even reach 14. Okay? So and listen to me, Dwight. The person who's talking about the Haitian is, listen to me, you don't find out the data, since you like data, D'Angelo. Let's go into the high schools and question all of the underage girls and see who's sexually being active with them. I don't be into all that. That's the way to solve the problem. I called and said that. Nobody wants to deal with that, right? And another thing, the psychiatrist gave me some very conflicting advice. First she said to talk to people, and then she's telling me to less airtime and to meditate. I meditate, I exercise, I eat good. But I'm not selfish. I'm concerned about putting the truth out there, especially when you're duping the masses. That's a part of my sanity. Give thanks.
Okay. Let's read these messages before we go to the break. I can tell you, if we eliminate this text line, we'll bring great sanity to the country. This text line is toxic, I mean, to the max. So this person's upset with the caller who said the people who touch women at Junkanoo he was saying it's practically rape, right? This text say it's not rape. Don't say that. It's okay. I say it's sexual assault. Don't call it rape. Correct these people. They're saying it's like rape. It's a violation. It's not cool. You wouldn't want that to happen to you. You focus on the wrong thing, texter. Focus. There's nothing new under the sun. We are more aware now because of technology. In the past, we depended on one media station for information and the government to determine what information we received. Technology has given us knowledge and information, so we are now in a state of shock. Remember, it was a voicemail that exposed certain pastors of the past, yes. I'm so sorry your guest sounds very biased against Bahamians. If you let 1 million of terrorists come into your country that think that rape, incest, and murder is okay, then we will have rape, incest, and murder in extremely high rates. Oh, my God. And these people have been here for 50 years now, so they are grown 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds that still have that in them. You can't take them out of the jungle. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, this is what they used to say about some other people, right? Still can't take... I hope you felt good texting that kind of stupidness to us. Thank you very much. The MPs, police, and judges are like Animal Farm, and a man went to jail for 35 years for self-defense, but raping your sister gets you only 7 years. Obviously, something is extremely wrong with the system, And the people who make the system, also, it's not just mental health. Some people are just demons. Well, you're telling me. This person says here, both men and women uphold these standards. We have to address these issues on a social level because assault and lack of understanding and consent are normal, and ignorance is staggering. Something's missing. And no laws for the outlaws is about to be challenged. I'm not understanding what that's about there anyway. Okay.
No laws for the outlaws.
And this I didn't want to read this text, but I think we should do this. Aaron, give me a second, just please. This is... This person says, we can't take the crisis center seriously as they have the same leadership that has known for decades about the challenges with social services and the child abuse crisis in our country, and they've helped to hide it. I am editing. I throw up a bit every time I see them talking. They're duplicitous. Texter, I think you're very confused. I don't think you understand the role of the crisis center. But again, we've seen it all morning. That's the theme of the morning. Blame anybody else but the people who are to blame. I don't know what your issues with the crisis center, but if you were in a situation where you needed help, they would certainly be the entity you would turn to, and they would help you. They might not advertise everything they do, and obviously that's what you seem to think they should. But you don't know what you're talking about. I think you mean something else, another group. But it's very sad that you've been out there probably promoting this hatred for no reason. I'm not sure why. But they're not the problem. They're not the problem. We've got to deal with the problem, though, folks. And if you know of somebody who has been abused or was abused and you did nothing about it, well, then I think you know who the problem is. DeAndre Cartwright, thank you so much for being here this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Dwight Strachan.
There's an interesting story in the paper today about Pine Gardens. Read about that, folks, the town hall meeting they had. We got to go. Aaron Green is up next with On the Clock. Stay tuned. Have a great day, everyone.
But God knows, I know, when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.